Hey guys, HDvee here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got a ton of new stuff to go over for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. We've got some really cool DLC theories to take a look at for the Generation 9 games, potential updates about those. We also have some information on the apparent Switch Pro that was going to happen but has since been cancelled. Really interesting stuff to go over today. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's take a look at this new theory by Light, a really cool DLC theory here for the Generation 9 game, so massive shout out to Light as always. And they tweeted out saying, theory time, the Area O, the Great Crater of Paldea, basically the Area Zero, I don't know why I said Area O, the Great Crater of Paldea, the final destination of our journey, but did we know everything about it? What would you think if I told you that the Paldea Crater is a Pokemon? Take a seat and take some popcorn. A Violet book will guide us. So here we have the Great Crater that says a photograph from the survey team's point of ingress in the crater, which is visible in the background. Luck favored us with the fine weather, making for a smooth outset. But clouds obscured the crater's distant depths, where the treasure of legend is said to lie. Now onward and downward. So, well, let's go by parts. The first time we arrived here, we were inspired by a place full of mystery, but at the same time full of life. Never seen Pokemon vegetation like this place has its own ecosystem. Remember the famous Herba Mystica also takes place from here. So again, I probably should have read like the whole Violet and Scarlet books because there's some really interesting information here. But either way, Herba Mystica, Area Zero was home to wondrous herbs that instantly impact Vigo into Eaton. We dubbed them Herba Mystica and attempted to grow some in areas around Paldea. However, before we could harvest, the herbs were eaten by Pokemon, which in turn grew large and strong. We call these Titan Pokemon. Then goes on to say, every time we go deeper, it seems that we are reaching the core of something, basically because of the difference between the crystals in the first part and this part is notable. In the deep, there are much more crystals. And again, the legendary treasure, countless days into our descent, we reached at last the very depths of the Great Crater. There we found a cave with formations of gemstone shining blindly bright as we could see. Perhaps these strange lights itself is the guardian said to watch over treasure deep within the crater. So I think they're obviously referencing the third legendary Pokemon as well, being like having to guard these crystals and stuff. When we talk about the core area, also we think about the heart. Everything is giving us hints that maybe this crater is indeed a sleeping Pokemon since thousands and thousands of years ago. Heath talked about the disc Pokemon as an entity, maybe not the real Pokemon itself, and of course that is just the kind of transcript from the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet book about the third legendary. What if all the rocks and mountains surrounding Area Zero really are the crown shape of the disc Pokemon mentioned by Heath? Attack on Titan nod. What if the first place we arrived in the back of the Pokemon? What if the deepest Area Zero is in fact the core or heart of this Pokemon? So, I mean, it'd be crazy to think that like Area Zero is in fact the third Pokemon, but when you look at this kind of image about it, it does kind of like, it looks like it's sort of sitting on this sort of like crystallized symbol. And maybe that's just simply because it is the kind of creator of the crater. But at the same time, I don't know. I think we're going to see this legendary. It's going to be absolutely massive. And then they go on to say, in fact, we have been there, the same place we battle Sada/Turo, where the time machine is. Basically, the time machine works like a CD, which is a compact disc, a reader. So we have the core plus the time machine, plus Violet Scarlet books equals the formula to bring Pokemon from other timelines. So this is obviously a really interesting part of Area Zero. It's like all this crystallized kind of location, and this just gives me the vibes that this is the third legendary. Like this kind of crystallized thing here is this room here. Like it literally looks very similar. So maybe the third legendary like is kind of on top of this or below this or something like that. They then go on to say, remember that as CD we can go forwards or backwards, past/future. If this Pokemon is in a sleeping top of the dreams, may be manipulated thanks to the time machine to open different portals to other timelines and bring Paradox Pokemon to the present. So yeah, a really cool theory there about, like, again, more information about the third legendary and stuff. We're very much kind of, well, at least I am, on the kind of idea train that it is kind of just creating these sort of Paradox Pokemon. It's like it's creating these Pokemon from like imagination and stuff. Like I say, Heath went into Area Zero with his Cyclosaur, which again is his favorite Pokemon. It's his partner Pokemon, and of course 2 Paradox Pokemon are in fact the different versions of Cyclizar, like Miraidon and Koraidon are paradox forms of Cyclizar. So maybe the third legendary is just kind of creating these paradox forms. We know it's behind the terrestrialization phenomenon. So again, really interesting about this third legendary there. We also have new trademarks as well, but this doesn't mean anything about new Pokemon or anything like that. But either way, like, because we've been getting so many trademarks lately, and people are thinking, like, every time a new trademark is out, it's got to be something to do with Scarlet and Violet. But either way, this was posted originally on PokeExperto. Nintendo creators and Game Freak have registered the following trademark in Japan. Raging Surf, this is probably a new collection of Pokemon cards. And then we also have Jean also saying, you know, sounds like another Japanese TCG set name. For English-speaking people, no, this is not a Pokemon name. No matter how much you want it to be, Japanese Pokemon names only have a character limit of 6, and this easily exceeds that limit. So yeah, this trademark, Raging Surf, isn't anything to do with Pokemon or a new move or anything like that. Well, obviously it's to do with Pokemon, but to the TCG, it's nothing to do with, like, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We also have this quite interesting thing as well that PLDH posted, saying a little bit of trivia to suit the season. Grush's introductory rematch dialogue changes based on whether you challenged him during a snowstorm or not. You might have been curious as he comments on the conditions on the mountain before the battle. So, yeah, but I didn't realize this was a thing. It's a little Easter egg, I guess, but he actually kind of talks a little bit different, or has like different dialogue depending on the kind of snowstorm. So obviously this one, there's no snowstorm, and then this is where there is a snowstorm, and he obviously has a different kind of dialogue, saying, you know, we've got the snowy mountains by my side today and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if this is just for Grusher or what, but either way, yeah, you can basically have two different kind of dialogues for Grusher in the rematch battle, depending on the weather. And again, I think it's just random whether you get snowstorm or not. I don't think there's anything you can do to kind of activate it. So yeah, a little bit of an interesting Easter egg there. So shout out to PLDH for kind of posting that. Finishing things off, we have the Switch Pro successor to talk about. So this was posted on Nintendo Live saying, rumor Switch Pro was real but got cancelled, claims at Digital Foundry. So of course this is in regards to the kind of, well, the Switch Pro that obviously we've been talking about for so long now, and we've been expecting for a while. And apparently, according to Digital Foundry, the Nintendo Switch Pro was actually in the works, and then it just got scrapped. So the Switch Pro was heavily rumored not so long ago as a mid-generation upgrade to the existing Switch console, which launched in 2017. Cannot believe that the Switch has been out since 2017, bro. That's nearly 6 years now. But either way, reports suggested that Nintendo was planning to release a more powerful variant with an improved screen, but despite numerous sources seemingly corroborating this, including developers who had apparently been told about it, no Switch Pro was forthcoming, and the arrival of the OLED edition seemed to indicate that another hardware update wouldn't be on the way for a while. Now, the gang behind Digital Foundry are claiming that the system was in Nintendo's plans at one point, but was eventually cancelled. As of now, there are no plans to release a more powerful version of the Switch before its successor arrives. So this isn't saying that they're not going to have a successor, they're just saying they're not going to have a new updated Switch before the successor. So obviously we had the Switch, then we had the OLED Switch, and then again a lot of rumors about the Switch Pro, and then we was going to have the successor, but it seems that it's just going to go from Switch to the OLED to the successor. So this rumor has been confirmed to Digital Foundry by more than one unnamed developer. As for Nintendo's next console, Digital Foundry says we shouldn't expect it to see it in the next year. So 2023 is not going to be the year the new Nintendo Switch or the successor of the Nintendo Switch comes out. And of course, Generation 9 is probably going to be the last generation on the Nintendo Switch. We're going to have a few more games in Gen 9, you know, whether that be like a new Legends game or a Let's Go game or a remake or whatever. Generation 10, I think, will be the first kind of game on the next Switch. But again, we'll have to wait and see. But either way, Digital Foundry also speculates that Nintendo is worried about transitioning from the Switch to its next system. It's a fair assumption to make given that Nintendo went from boom with the Wii to bust with the Wii U and back again with the Switch. So yeah, it's constantly just like up and down with Nintendo consoles. But one would think the company is wise enough to stick with the hybrid approach, given that it's proven to successful as essentially its own niche. But who knows? So yeah, unfortunately, the Switch Pro was in the works, but did get scrapped, and it doesn't look like we're going to see anything between the OLED and the successor. It's just going to go from the OLED Switch to the successor, which is also apparently not going to come out next year in 2023. So 2024 might be when we see this. successor to the Nintendo Switch. But anyway, that is going to be everything for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. Really do appreciate it. Sorry if I do sound a bit weird. I'm currently a little bit sick. It's just flu or something like that. But either way, hope you still understood all the words I was saying, because I know that my voice is a little bit weird at the moment. But make sure to subscribe if you're brand new. We do go live with Pokemon content every day. But that's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.